Hello everyone and welcome to Longer and Harder, the show on the internet where we take a subject and we go deeper. How are you all doing today? Everything's super laggy as always. Hello Micro, hello Christy, Abby, hello Richard. Haven't seen you in a while at a stream. How's it going? Hello W6I, and Hobbs is here of course. Hello Evan Williams. All the people, and Hobbs we will soon get a nice video of him once he settles down, which I think might take a while because he seems a little antsy. Buddy, okay, we're gonna settle down there. Okay, that seems like a good place for you. So we get to stop looking at this ugly mug and focus on the real star here, which of course is Hobbs. So there we go. I hope everyone's had themselves a wonderful Sunday afternoon or whatever day it is you are watching this. Hello Luke, how are you? I never actually said hi. Yeah, we say hi to everyone. We're super friendly here. How are you? Hello, Marty Rules. Things and stuff. I think we're gonna move on to things and stuff pretty quick today. If I can do things properly, which is always a question, right? All right, housekeeping. We got I guess the only real thing is I gotta add is a big thank you to Evan Williams, Blue, NANA, and Diamond, who I think is not here at the moment because they had a lot of great super chats last week, and we got ourselves even closer to our new computer. As you can see, we're at 89%. 89.33% to be exact, because precision is a thing we do apparently. So you've been gaming heavily on Sundays. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I want to sit down and do some gaming. I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and do that for a while. Maybe today will be the day. The wife's feeling kind of like a stay-at-home kind of day, so it might be kind of that kind of day today. It was hot today. Out of the thermometer showed 40 degrees. Oh, that's not in real measurements, degrees. I think 40's hot. I don't actually know how hot 40 is, so I'm gonna have to translate that into real degrees because I don't know how hot that is. It's been super hot here. Not gonna lie, it's been awful today. I worked on my garden yesterday for like half an hour and I nearly died. It was great, fantastic. So today's definitely like my wife and I already got sort of everything out of the way before like noon came around because it's just way too hot to want to do any of that nonsense. 104 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. That's fucking insane. Let's not do that. Hello Nestling, how are you? So yeah, no, that's a little too much. That's a little too intense. That's a little too intense for me. Alright, so housekeeping. Yes, we're closer to a new computer. Thank you very much for everyone who does super chat. If you would like to do super chats as well, there is a little money sign on your chat thing that you can poke at. And super chats get me boobs because we're sexist assholes around here, or butts, depending on what the dice roll is. And you help me get a new computer, which we are really close to. And that helps improve the show and on things because as you can see, we are very laggy around here. We are just the laggiest lag fest that ever lagged fested ever. Is us, but we are doing pretty good today on getting closer to that. So thank you very much for everyone who super chatted last week and all that nonsense. And moving on to beer of the week, you will see that there's no description on this one and no alcohol per volume because I have no fucking clue. We are at another wonderful New Glarus beer. Actually, I don't know if it's good. This one I legitimately don't know if it's any good or not. We are just gonna find out today. Unlike I think the last one I did this, we actually I actually had already tried it before because it was the Spotted Cow, which everyone should constantly drink a Spotted Cow because they are the best. But this one I haven't actually tried. Rhubarb and beer. Ooh, ew indeed. I think. I don't know yet. Okay, so the beer is called Strawberry Rhubarb without an A apparently because R&D can't spell sometimes. Strawberry Rhubarb without an A. From New Glarus Brewing Company in New Glarus, Wisconsin. They don't put the thing on how much alcohol is in here on their label, so I have no clue. I genuinely don't know. And they do have a little blurb, but it's kind of long and a little stupid, and I didn't want to type it up, so I didn't. So we're gonna read it anyway, but there's a little blurb on the bottle itself, so we'll read it regardless. God, I also can't read this because it's black on a red label and it's like impossible to read. Teased, ooh, teased from the loom by the kiss of the sun. Mom's strawberry rhubarb delights are the happy memories of childhood. Diploma Master Brewer Dan employed juicy, sweet strawberries to tame the barbaric, wild tart fermentation of rhubarb. Escaped from the far corners of neighboring yards, local rhubarb was incorporated into the wild, sour fermentation to create this drinkable dream. Bright, sour, and effervescence, toast chilled cold to bright skies, fireflies, bare feet, and rhubarb pies. Thanks for supporting the arts. So I guess, yeah, this is one of their like seasonal ones. This one they had like you could only buy like one or two at a time. It's 4.0, if you say so. I believe you, Red. 100% believe you on that one. I have absolutely no clue myself. But I will give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. Yeah, so this is one of their like the seasonal ones that you could only buy like they would only let you buy one or two at a time at the beer depot. Also, I think Hobbs is sitting on my bottle opener, which is going to make opening the bottle kind of difficult. Buddy, I think you're sitting on my bottle opener. I need you to move. No, you weren't sitting on it. Sorry to bother you. I don't know where the bottle opener is. Oh. Is he done? Nope, he's not done. He's just going to position himself in such a way that the camera cannot look at him because he's being camera shy. I suppose so. Oh, can we get him over there? Thank you, sweetie pie. Mm-hmm. You get a cat ear. You get a cat ear, and that's where we're at. All right. So I think if I remember right, this is going to be a very, I'll try to fix that camera. I promise. I'm just trying to pour beer. This should be a very red color. Oh, fudge. It is very red. Oh, bananas. That is a red beer. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm going to have to show this one. Oh my goodness. I don't like, that is a red fucking beer. Jesus fuck. That is very red. Let's see if we can do this. All right, Hobbs, we're gonna turn the camera. I know you want all the attention, but we're gonna turn the camera. Look at this nonsense. It's almost as red as my shirt. Look at this thing. That is a red fucking beer right there. If I ever saw one. Ooh. Yeah, I hope it tastes good. Okay, we're gonna try to fix the camera first. So first things first, let's get everyone super dizzy by turning the camera around so that it faces Hobbs, so that people can actually look at him. There he is. Being adorable. What an adorable cat, huh? Only reason I have subscribers is this little asshole. There we go. Alright, so with that said, is this beer any good? Is the very, very red beer any good? Oh, that is delicious. Oh, that is tart. Oh, that is weird. I don't know anymore. Ah! There's a lot of emotions in one beer. I don't know what to do about it. Oh, wow, that was weird. That was really good. So okay, so you smell it. It smells like, oh god, it's really tart. It smells like strawberries, like legit, because it's got strawberries in it, right? It smells like strawberries, and like the first taste is nice and sweet and crisp. And it tastes like strawberries, and I thought it was delicious and great. But then, like, the rhubarb hits you in the face, and it's really fucking tart. I don't know how I feel about it. Sweet, tart. Oh, that's weird. That's super weird. I don't know if I can rate this beer. It's just too weird to rate. Like, it's just too weird. Rhubarb has a subtle flavor, and I don't like it. It's okay. The only rhubarb thing that I taste in this is tart. That is what rhubarb tastes to me, is tart, and this is what this is. It's just tart. That's it. Just tart. There's nothing else to it but that. But I like it. I think it's. I like the. I don't know. Okay, I keep saying I don't know. I'm gonna add the reserved judgment here. Not bad. See, it's really good at first, and then the rhubarb. I feel like God, that's super tart. I feel like it would have been better as just a strawberry beer and not the rhubarb bed, but so it's half good. Half good I'll give. Hey, Bullionator, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you in a while. I did see you working with Scientist Mel on her show. That was really cool. That's super awesome that you're working with her. She's such a fantastic lady. I'm glad that you can work with her and make her show better. Her show is super cool anyway, but always production values, having higher production values is always helpful and whatnot. So that's super cool that you're working with her now. All right, so there's that. Oh goodness, what are we gonna do? Video menu. So we got options for today on what to pick. Oh come on, and Cloudbot is of course not here because then he'd be useful. We can't have that. Why would they mess with the taste of beer? I'm okay. I don't know. It's okay. It's you gotta do funky things with beer. There's only so many things you can do with beer. And adding, God, that's super tart. And adding fruit is not the worst thing in the world. It's kind of the kind of thing to do to it. Okay. So, today's video menu is as follows. We have The Truman Show by ODD TV, AOC by David Icke, Alpha Males by Joe Rogan, and potentially there's another one. And I debated whether I wanted to switch out this Joe Rogan to the newest Joe Rogan episode, or not the newest, but the one before that, I forget which. Or he's got this like fucking nutty ass conspiracy theorist on, and Joe Rogan's just sitting there like, yeah, no, that's cool, man, that's so cool. Because, why not? Because Joe Rogan's a fucking hack. Sorry, if you like Joe Rogan and you don't like me shitting on him, I'm sorry, but he's a fucking hack, and it's fuck Joe Rogan. You can't vote yet, W6, F6I. I should make. I don't know if Nightbot's here, or Cloudbot's here. One of the bots should hopefully be here. Let's try to get the voting started too, though. So that's Joe Rogan. Sorry. How to Write a Myth by Owen Benjamin. Some racist asshole on the internet. Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood by Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood. That one is a fun one that I actually found with microbloganism yesterday during taking a look at. We found this website. It is a hilarious website. I'm sure that we will tackle the website on taking a look at one day. But this is kind of the trailer for that website, and it's pretty much like what I just called like an uncucked version of Rotten Tomatoes is what they called it. So there's that. Top 25 Flat Earth Proofs by Christine something or another, and Psychology is Fake by James Robert Clark. Another recommendation. That was an actual recommendation by Microbloganism. So that's a good one. Ooh, number 3 is getting ahead pretty well. Oh, I do kind of want to talk about number 3 with Joe Rogan. That one is his interview or his podcast with Adam Conover, the guy who does Adam Ruins Everything, and it's real bad. It's definitely like Adam Ruins Everything. If you don't know, did an episode on alpha males, and he talks about the science behind alpha maleness and how it's bullshit because it's bullshit. And Joe Rogan just sits there and is just incredulous as fuck the whole time, and pretty much does the same thing that a lot of people do when it comes to science that they don't understand. They're just like, oh, I don't know about that. My anecdotal experience on this thing most definitely contradicts all of scientific findings and or common sense. And Joe Rogan just does that. Because he's Joe Rogan. He's a fucking idiot. Oh, goodness. Adam has an awesome podcast as well. He gets access to great people. So I'm kind of on the fence on Adam's show, at least the Adam Ruins Everything. I haven't heard his podcast, but Adam Ruins Everything. Sometimes a lot of what he does is so generalized, and I understand that like the audience that he's trying to get to is very, they're just normal everyday folk. So he's got to be general, but sometimes it's a little bit too general, and I'm not okay with it. Like I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I have my feelings about it, but that's besides the point. He does a decent job on the Joe Rogan show. The problem with his appearance on the Joe Rogan show is that you can tell that he doesn't necessarily do the research. Like he's not he's got a research team, right? Like he's just the guy who, he's an actor. He just kind of voices, you know, an actor or comedian, whatever the hell his title is, right? He kind of just says the things that the people that wrote his script say, and so he doesn't necessarily know the science off the top of his head. He knows the things that he said on the show off the top of his head. He knows that, but he doesn't actually know the science behind it. So I think it looked like the problem is that it made Joe Rogan look smart, because Joe Rogan kind of plowed through him very easily, because people assume that Adam knows the science and isn't an actor. So it just doesn't, it wasn't a fair playing field, because Joe Rogan actually, while he's not a scientist or anything, he actually does study, and I say that with quotation marks that you can't see, study the subjects that he talks about. Adam Conover, I don't think he does. I think he just reads a script. So it was kind of a bit unfair there of Joe Rogan to put him on the spot in a lot of those things. Adam Ruins Everything is not a good show, in my opinion. He has never rooted a single problem. It just tells people that they were deceived. Yeah, I have a lot of, the one that I remember, that I remember not liking in particular was the one on STDs, and I mostly didn't like it because he was very dismissive of STDs. He was like, everyone's got STDs, so it's not that big of a thing. He did the research. He and Emily wrote the script when it was on College Humor. I did not know that. Okay, I have been proven wrong. I apologize. I have I guess a first-hand source here that Adam actually does take part in some of the script writing. So so apology for all the stupid comment that I just made. So that's kind of my bad. I didn't you know. So I don't know then why he looks so bad. Almost everyone. Yeah, everyone has STDs. It's I have to remember, I haven't seen that episode in a while. And I didn't like the it made it seem like he was being very dismissive about STDs, and that was not something that new job, considerable raise. Oh, thank you very much. Holy shit, Evan Williams. Oh, my heart. I hope you get your boobs. Oh, I hope the polls are working. God damn, now I slightly regret my choice of saying that I was going to back it up. Put in the same amount. Your boobs did not appear long enough. You're going to get another set. Oh my goodness gracious. Big thank you to Evan Williams. That is an extremely generous donation. Oh goodness, you get to see my face being extremely appreciative of your generosity. Holy shit, man. Thank you very much. I'm gonna get you another set of boobs. Those did not stick around long enough for it to count. The poll is done. We'll do things. Holy shit. Thank you very much. All right, let's complete this poll. Oh, I'm sorry to say, all the people that were hoping for the Joe Rogan, it looks like number 7 won by only a handful of points, but we'll get there. We'll get to number 7 for that. Thank you very much. And then I owe Evan Williams. Those boobs did not stay on long enough for it to count. So we'll get you some more. You can pick if you'd like. Not that you know which is which, but you can pick, my friend. This is the least I can do. You can pick, my friend, between the number 1 and the number 36. If you like, in the chat, and that's what you get. Broder front is fine. 5 is my number. Okay, we'll go to number 5. Which is right here. Thank you very much for that extremely generous donation. I mean, I keep repeating myself because you have left me rather speechless. So thank you very much for that. It's the least I can do. I don't know why the thing is being weird. I apologize, but there you go. All right. So with that said, we're going to talk about flat earthers today. Isn't that exciting? Always a good time to talk about flat earthers, I think. Did you watch the video I DM'd you on Discord? I did not. I don't think so. I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to take a look at it when I get a chance to, Richard. I don't think I've seen that one. Okay, so hello, Mrs. Snarky, how are you? Hello, Sean, how are you today as well? So Bullinator asked a bit ago about, God, I don't even know what I'm doing. About if we are getting the new computer, you can see the bar up top, I think. Thanks to Evan's generous donation, I think we might have actually crossed the threshold onto being able to buy a new computer. So once money gets moved into that account, I think we might be there. So yeah, we might have actually reached the goal thanks to Evan today. Probably in the next couple of weeks or so, we'll get things updated. That's very exciting. I've been very okay. We'll update this later. Well, I was very excited because I've been looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Evan, for doing the math for me. Oh goodness, I don't even have my videos ready. Where did they go? I had them at some point or another. So we have today with us, we're gonna talk about flat earthers if we get through this, because this is actually a relatively short video, and it's very much so a Eric Dubay kind of clone video, so I don't expect a lot of originality and original thought that's going to go into this one. So if we finish this one, we'll definitely go over to the Joe Rogan one, because it is something that I have been...
Hey, all lovely people up there. Christine here.
Sorry, so 2 videos playing at once. Everything's a disaster, as it typically is. Okay, so get earplugs in. You remember Super Chat? Yeah, I know. It won't quite be there, but I think we can get there. I think we'll be fine. All right, so we will get this going, get a video going. Imagine that. We'll get videos going. Nope, that's my Siri thing. Okay, so the whole name of this video is Top 25 Simple Flat Earth Proofs. It's by a lady named Christina something or another. That's the wrong word. That's the wrong video. It's not 20 Flat Earth Proofs. Oh no, it's a psychology one. Fudge, you're right. I did get it wrong. Oh, R&D can't read. We should know this by now. I don't know why we expect anything else out of R&D besides R&D can't read. R&D can't read. Okay. Oh, you are super loud and obnoxious. Let's turn you down. You also film yourself in the stupid camera mode. Okay, there we go. So yes, R&D. Fudge. I do say fudge. So at work, I work with children at a hospital, so swearing isn't a thing I'm supposed to do, right? And so I try my best. Okay. So psychology. Psychology is fake science, not soft science. And this guy's gonna tell us. This one's kind of important. Not important. This one's a fun one for me, and mostly because if you don't know, if you're new to the channel and I just haven't talked about my job all the time, I work in psychology. I'm a behavior therapist, so this is kind of personal. And I'm also trying to work towards my master's in psychology, so I may or may not know just a little bit of psychology, just a little bit. Neuropsych is my field. Oh no, we got lots of experts here today. Oh, so yeah. So this will be fun for all the reasons stated. Oh, there's a fly in here. That's awful. Okay, so dude man here, I already forgot his name, James Robert Clark or whatever your name is going to tell us how psychology is not a real science. Probably, and so again, tangents, because I don't want to actually watch this video, right? I find that a lot of people, and this is just anecdotal evidence, right? So take it as anecdotal evidence. I find that a lot of people have a really hard time with psychology, not because they don't trust the science, not really not for any good reason besides the fact that I don't think a lot of people like being told that their behavior is predictable and why their behavior exists. I think we do like to think of ourselves as individuals with free will, and that we make, you know, our own decisions. But if you go into psychology, that starts becoming less and less. It starts becoming less. It starts becoming more clear that that's not the case. That our decisions are mandated by biology and chemistry, and you know, it's not as straightforward as I decided to do X. There's a whole lot of reasons why you decided to do X, and it ain't because you have free will. There's no such thing as free will. I don't personally believe in free will. So if you want to get into that conversation, I don't think we have free will. I think we definitely have an illusion of free will, but I don't think we do. Our decision making is based on biology and chemistry. They make our decisions for us. It's fun. It's great. That shouldn't hurt, you know, this hurt, or I don't know what, discourage you from thinking of yourself as like an individual who can make choices and whatnots. I think it's just that you shouldn't think just the reality of it doesn't match up. That's all. Okay. So here we go.
That behavioral health is mostly ineffective is it has no basis in science.
No. So behavioral health is extremely effective. It's to the point where it's like, so you do what I do, which is I work in a very niche bit of behavioral health. But you still use it a lot in other ways. Like there's a lot of social manipulation that happens that companies use to manipulate the things, like what you buy and whatnot. Perfect example. I like this one because I think it's rather clear. One of the fun things about companies, they don't give a fuck about you. So since it's almost the end of Pride Month and everyone's gonna forget about the fact that Pride Month was a thing, or that Pride's a thing, starting Monday, that's one way where companies manipulate your behavior, right? They pretend to care about your the same issues that you do. The whole whatever, the Gillette ad a while ago with the father teaching his trans son how to shave for the first time, like that was all just manipulation. Like they don't care. Google doesn't care. Gillette doesn't care. What was the other one? Nike doesn't care. That's all. My wife was on screen. That is true. Like they don't care, but they know that if they appeal to you this way, that they'll get attention. Even if they don't get your money, they'll get your attention, and they get the attention of the people who don't like them. So it's not, you know, that's a fun way to do it. But behavior health, also there's lots of science. Just one journal that I know of, which is the Journal of Applied Behavior Analysis, JABA. That's a fun journal, which I read way too much of. That's a fun journal that shows you all the science behind it. I try to do studies if my kids fucking cooperate. We run studies at the clinic that I work at constantly, so we're almost constantly doing grant studies, which are big studies that we get grant money to run, and then we also, because we have a lot of us, a whole lot of us are students. We do a lot of research. The students do a lot of research, so we do a lot of, I think about a year ago, I was helping run a study for someone's doctoral thesis on, what was it? Dimensions of reinforcement. Yeah, dimensions of reinforcement, was the last one, was one of the last studies that I wrote. You might actually be able to look that up and find it in I'm not sure if it's published yet, because no, it hasn't been published yet, because she just defended it like a week ago, so I don't think it's been published yet. But I helped her about a year ago run her thesis, or her study for her doctoral thesis, which was fun. So we run studies all the time. So this idea that it's not science-based is kind of weird, because we run studies on this and statistical analysis on our results and whatnot. I will say, though, because this is kind of important. Oh, I just made a mess on myself. Psychology does have a bit of a problem with replication. There we go. Replicating studies, especially in psychology. Behavior analysis in particular has a problem with replicating studies. And so that is kind of a part but you're not going to talk about this because I'm fairly certain that you don't even understand what the problem is that I'm talking about. That we have a really hard time replicating studies in getting the same results. We struggle a whole lot with that all the time. How Skinnerific it is, very Skinnerific, isn't it? Dimensions of reinforcement. So she says she studied. I'll talk about it in a second. Okay, so problem with psychology, we have a hard time reproducing the same results because people are complicated and it's really hard to reproduce the same results sometimes, like the exact same results. Unlike, say, chemistry or physics, where you throw a ball at 20 meters per second squared, accelerating 20 per second squared, you'll know the result if you know the mass and all that, all that jazz, right? Like you can know pretty accurately. Psychology doesn't work as well because people are weird and different, and there's so many variables to a person. A person isn't just one or two variables. There's just so many variables, right? Medication, diagnoses, there's no two people that are identical, so it's really, really hard to replicate it. And that is one problem that we have, and I know that the APA, the American Psychological Association, and other journals and publishers are working to try to publish more papers that recreates old studies rather than just trying to promote new studies, because we're finding that we don't always get the same results twice. Okay. We are legion, I know. We have to control for so many variables in psych. You do. There's just so much, and you can't control for everything. There's just too much, and it's so that's why it's kind of why it gets there. Okay. So what was the other one? Oh yeah. Dimensions of reinforcement in, I forget what it was. It's something. But basically what she did is she took the two variables that we had was you have like a reinforcement, so you have a behavior and you reinforce that behavior. What she did is she did two variables where two conditions where she changed the variable in each condition. In one condition she changed the length of time that you got access to the reinforcer, and in the other one she's changed the quality of the reinforcer, and then try to compare them. Unfortunately, when I ran the study, or when I helped her run the study, the patient that I was running it with was just, we were getting, his variability in behavior was far too much, and we couldn't finish running the study with him, so he was pulled out of the study beforehand. Another problem with psychology, we have what is it called? It's not called retention. It's not called remission. It's something with an R, I want to say. But psychology has a problem with people just dropping out of studies and or dying during the middle of studies, like especially when you're dealing with older participants, that they just die. Sorry. Have you ever been sourced in a peer review? No, I haven't. I one day I hope that I am, but no, not so far. I really just help with studies at this point. I don't get to write them. I don't know if I ever will write. I don't know if I ever will write. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the research as much. Like, I find it fascinating. Sorry. I enjoy the research as I enjoy reading it. I enjoy running other people's research because I find it fascinating. On my side, I hate writing for publications. It's so fucking hard. I'm a lab technician of sorts, yes. It's so fucking hard. APA writing style is a bitch, and I hate it. I hate every last bit of it. It's awful, and I don't like it. So I don't want to do it. And it's a lot of work that I'm not sure I'm ready for yet. Maybe one day. Maybe after I finish my master's. I know that if I go into the master's program that you can do like a thesis and whatnots and do research, because we do have a lot of our master's students who also run studies at the clinic. So I could do it for my master's if I wanted to. I don't know if I will. I might not. It just doesn't sound like fun to me. Okay. So with that said, we're going to move on.
When I went to school for criminal justice, it was referred to as a soft science. But what people need to understand is there are no soft sciences. Either something is objective or it's not objective.
You think it's soft because of the objectivity? No, that's not why it's considered soft. Research and development is true. R&D is research and development. You're right. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I don't think you understand. I'm not a fan of the declassifying the soft science versus hard science thing. I'm not. Mostly because I'm biased, and people are like, it's just a soft science. It doesn't count. No, fuck you. It does. And I take it personal. Is that, yeah, no, that's not what it means. It's not that it's not objective. Psychology is objective, about as objective as any other sciences. We do blind studies. When we especially when we measure behaviors, we do measure things like, we try to measure things as objectively as we can, and so we do, what is, I should know the words for these things. The definitions, oh God, why can't I know this? Operationally defined. There we go. We operationally define things as best we can so that they can be taken objectively. When you do things like we have studies on how to run studies. Like, that's how much we try to be objective. We have studies on the best way to do like surveys. Because we try to always improve the way that we do surveys, because I know people are like, surveys are stupid. There's a science behind surveys. Surveys are not just somebody sitting down and writing a bunch of questions and then emailing them to you. Like, there's an actual science behind how to create a good survey, so that you can get valid results at the end of it. There's also statistical analysis on those surveys so that you can see how good of a survey you have. So we run statistical analysis on surveys to make sure that they actually are going to give us valid results at the end. Lots of sciencey things today. Yeah, you have to word surveys very carefully so questions are not leading or pinning. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a whole lot. It's not as simple. And again, it's not about objectivity and subjectivity. That's not what the soft and hard part of science means. So you very, very much so not a smart individual, my friend here. Okay.
The scientific method is how you tell what's true. Psychology and sociology lack the objectivity of data collection. Now, there are...
Lack the objectivity of data collection, except for... I don't even know what that means, because, again, data is collected, my friend. No scientific data is completely objective because they are done by human beings and are impossible for a human being to be entirely objective. That's a good point. Yeah, I guess you can't collect data objectively. One of the newer things, newer trends that are happening. I read a cool study about this on trans individuals. And so it was about voices. Oh God, I'm trying to remember. I can probably pull up the study too because I have it somewhere on my computer. It was about voices and sort of how much your voice matched your experienced gender, and so the gender that you identified as. And so the study did surveys on. It was a neat study because it was a multifactorial survey or multifactorial study. So they looked at how the individual was satisfied with the sound of their own voice, and whether it aligned with their identified gender. And so that was one set, and then they had another set where the cool thing about this is that these were all YouTubers. So they found the YouTubers' videos, fairly recent videos, downloaded them, took out the video part and just had the sound, did some audio mixing to make them all around the same level and whatnot, and then had people listen to the sound of people's voices without being able to look at the face, without knowing who it was. And then had them take a survey on how much they thought, on how masculine or feminine they thought that the voice sounded, and then they compared it to the individual results. It's a really neat study. It's a really cool study, and again, very objective. Like you don't know who you're looking at. The participants don't know what the goal is, or they're just given here's a sound clip. Tell me if it's tell me your opinion on this scale, a Likert scale. Tell me how masculine feminine they are. So it's really cool. There are ways to take data objectively, but you.
Certain schools currently where they're trying to get back to the scientific method, such as psychobiology and things of this nature, but things that seem to be avoided Working in mental health, I saw this, is the field attracts.
You did not work in mental health. You did not. No, I refuse to. You might have. But I refuse to believe it.
Liberals and egalitarians.
I'm sorry. What? I got angry and I didn't listen to you. I'm sorry. That was rude of me.
Liberals and egalitarians.
Stop. Go back. We're gonna go back. Okay.
Working in mental health, I saw this, is the field attracts liberals and egalitarians. A lot of people that work in mental health believe in gender fluidity, or I should say disbelieve in the fact of chromosomal gender assignment.
Every week this is an issue. I love it. I get to talk about this all over again. It's great. Oh, I love all of this. Okay, so yes. Okay, first off, yes, in psychology, gender fluidity is a thing, because the science backs it up. So yes, there's that. Okay, so that part you are at least correct in psychology. We do that. There's a bit of a like a cart before the horse thing going on here about because I don't really know. You never really know if like what are the conflicting things, because people say this all the time, right? Like there's a lot of liberals in college and all that nonsense. And one of the things that I'm not sure if there's studies on this, there probably are you more liberal? Do you choose to go to college because you're more liberal, or do you become more liberal from being in college? Which chicken and egg kind of thing. I tend to go with that you become more liberal as you go in college, because you tend to be exposed to more people, you tend to be exposed to more ideas, you don't live in an echo chamber, and one of the things that makes you sort of be a little bit more liberal is you start to see people that think differently than you, or are different than you. One of my examples from that I talked about in a video a bit ago was from college, and how much of a homophobic asshole I was in college, because I grew up Catholic, in a fairly conservative home, and so when I went to college, while I kind of did the whole like, I don't care what you do in your bedroom, just don't do it in public or whatever, kind of that kind of homophobia. When I actually went to college and got exposed to being around gay individuals and homosexual individuals, it made me understood that I was the one being the jackass, and that like they're not all that different than me. They just prefer different body parts than me. Like they're not actually like all the things that I had learned at being in Catholic school and being Catholic weren't true. And so in that way, it did make me more liberal, right? It did make me more open up, because I had to have a firsthand experience at living with and around people that were different than me. So in that way, I don't know which is right. I don't know if people choose to be more, if people who are more liberal choose psychology, or if they become more liberal because of psychology. You do have to be very, very open-minded to be in psychology. It's because the science is constantly changing. Especially if you want to go into like therapies and things, you can't be judgmental. Like part of providing therapy is not being judgmental. It's not imposing your own views onto others. It means that you have to be open to listening to the views of others. So you have to be very open, especially, like I said, especially if you're going to do therapy of any kind. You have to be open to the differences of other people. You can't just be rigid and say this is the way. So it's very anti-conservative in that way, where you can't just stick to your thing and then be judgmental to everyone else. They deserve to be judged. So yeah, you just can't be judgmental. Okay. So, what was the other one? You said, oh yeah, the gender fluidity thing. Yeah. The science is behind it. We've kind of already talked about. Oh, you said the chromosome thing. By the way, I forgot your name, James. I'm gonna call you James. James. That's not how we assign gender. Just so you know, like you don't get a genetic test and like you were born and then they do a genetic test and they're like, oh yeah, they have XX or XY chromosomes. That's your gender. Like that's not how gender is assigned. Gender is assigned at birth based on your genitals, the genitals that you can see. And that doesn't always work. It doesn't. It's not 100% accurate at all. And even if like there's a lot of variability in gender. Gender is kind of a weird like, it's that thing where we want to have nice clean categories of people, and gender is one of those that you can't put into nice clean categories because people are different, because people are unique, and you can't just like try to box them in. And like I don't know what you just kind of stuck at that point. There's a difference between psychology and biology. I would disagree. Unless you think your brain isn't made out of biological things, your brain is psychology or is biology. Like, your brain is chemicals and everything's fucking chemistry, honestly. Your brain is biology, so because your brain is biology, psychology is biology. Like it's a study of a biological thing. I'm XX and I was a man for 53 out of my 54 years. There you go. It's about the function of the brain. Yeah, but it's still biology. Trust me, we do a lot of biology. One of the things, and I Micro knows this because I bitched about it like all through the last semester of school, is how much fucking biology I had to do, and it pissed me off. That being in psychology, I was doing a crap ton of biology, and it's because psychology is biology. And so I really did have to go do a lot of that stuff that I didn't like, especially last semester I took a what was that class? I took animal behavior. It was intense how much fucking biology I had to know. Like I had to know the why birds have different coloration, and there's a lot of different reasons why birds have different coloration, but like what was the one that I had? Depending on the diet that you eat, your colors that they produce are different, so that has something to do with it. So it's got to do with the way that you process food. It's also got to do with like mating and stuff. So it's all just a giant clusterfuck of mess, and it doesn't break up easily. Okay. Do you think mental dependency is technically physical dependency? Mental dependency. That might be a little bit over my head. That question might be a little bit over my head. Okay. So a couple more minutes of this guy, and then we'll go on with that.
Meaning that you are born a specific sex/gender, and that is what you are. So that is a delusion that is normalized by many that work in mental health.
It's a delusion. Yes, gender dysphoria is a delusion, right? Not an actual. Again, your nitpickiness of science is hilarious. Gender dysphoria, I suppose, is just a whatchamacallit? I guess it's just a delusion, so it ain't real, even though it's very much so understood by the medical community to be a thing that happens. But I guess according to you, it ain't. So that's a thing. I don't know why doctors do research and they don't just go to you. So all of this is very much so like it all. And I'm gonna make my prediction now because I think I've heard enough out of you that I feel comfortable making my prediction about this. Is that you just don't like psychology because you don't like transgender individuals. That's my thing. You don't like them. My guess is you're probably also a bit homophobic, and you don't like, they're weird, and you don't like them. Therefore, psychology is bullshit because psychology validates the things that you don't like. That's that's my guess on you is you already come to your conclusion. You don't like this group of people. You don't like who they are, and so you're gonna not like the science that validates their existence. I found that I was a XX for a reason unrelated to my trans experience. Almost to no one knows their karyotypes. That's true. Yeah, psychology is bullshit because G is icky. Yeah, it's all icky. It's all icky stuff. So yeah, no one knows their karyotypes at all. Like, unless you've had a genetic test, there's really no reason for you to know your karyotypes. Like, they're really, you have no reason to need to know them unless you've had some sort of genetic test, and they definitely don't do it to assign gender. That's not how gender assignment works. It's done by just visually what you can see, not by any kind of genetic thing. So that's a whole bunch of bullshit. All right. With that said, my laptop's running out of energy. It's running low on power. We are going to take a quick break so I can plug it in, and I can get set up and maybe refill this beer. I'm struggling to get through this beer. But while we're at it, enjoy some good chat in the discussion. Some good discussions in the chat would probably be a better way to put that. Enjoy some royalty-free music and enjoy some fan art from all the peeps. And I will be back in just a little bit. All right, everyone, and we're back with more of James. Is that what we decided to call him? I think that's what we decided to call him. Call him James. More of James telling us how psychology isn't real because those silly transgender individuals wanting to be validated in their existence. Actually, not wanting to, but are validated by science, and he's not okay with it. So, can we call him dipshit? I'm okay with that. Whoever suggested that R&D should sing, that's a terrible idea. Let's not. Okay. God, I can only imagine. I can't sing. I don't. Oh, God, no. God, no. Let's not. I kind of want to do it now, though, but let's not. Okay. With that said, dipshit here is gonna do it live. Oh, okay. I genuinely, I don't even know songs. I'm terrible at it, so I don't even know songs. I couldn't even do the thing. If we can find lyrics of me to read terribly, I'll try. But we gotta find lyrics first, because I don't know what I don't know the lyrics of songs off the top of my head of anything, because I'm terrible. All right. So, we're going to have dipshit here is going to tell us some things and stuff. You want me to sing the... Oh, it's fun story about me singing kids' songs, since we're going to sing the ABCs now. Fun stories about singing kids' songs. So, we used to... a bit ago, we had a client at the clinic who liked it when we sang songs for him, right? That was the thing. And so he liked... What was his favorite song? The Wheels on the Bus. The Wheels on the Bus was his favorite song, so he used to like it. The wheels of the bus go round and round and all that nonsense. And then so after you get through after you do the wheels on the bus go round and round, they there's a lyric, there's a thing that comes afterwards. And I don't remember. I even right now I'm trying to remember it, and I don't remember what comes at the end. And I think it's all through the town or something like that. That's the ending bit, and I didn't remember it. So I said all the live long day, which I think is a different song, while I sang this, and the kid literally got up from sitting with me singing, got up and left. He just wasn't fucking having it. He was done. Yeah, all through the town. Apparently it is, but I fucking didn't know that. He just left. He got up and left. He wasn't about to have any of my nonsense singing. So, I don't sing. Also, I don't know the alphabet of anyone. Alright, here we go.
Another serious issue is most mental health workers, especially therapists and other real big lefties, believe in the blank slate theory, which is that
therapists, those lefties. I'm sure you'll explain what blank slate theory is. Don't know. Again, so one of the things about being a therapist is you gotta not be a judgmental asshole. That's like 99% of your job. Right, and it actually, and I say that jokingly, but I'm not, because especially depending on the kind of therapy, right, that you're doing, there's a whole bunch of different kind of therapies, so there's a whole lot of things I can talk about there too. But in a lot of therapy, there is, I shouldn't say a lot, because there is one kind of therapy where you kind of are allowed to be a judgmental asshole. I forget what it's called. Where you're actually very confrontational, and that is the therapy. Is that you confront, you head on confront people's problems, and you are a judgmental asshole because to some people that actually works to help them get through whatever is, whatever their obstacle is, and so it works for some people. It doesn't work for everyone. So don't take this as an endorsement of be a judgmental asshole to everyone, because it's a good way to deal with everyone's issues. It's not the best way for everyone. It works for some people. Therapy is a very big spectrum of different methods that you can use. Different therapists use different kind of methods so that they can actually try to tailor their treatment to individuals. So there's a whole lot. It's not the thing. There isn't just one, right? But being open, and so the blank slate thing, which I'm sure you'll tell us about, being open to just listening is a very big part of therapy. Is just sitting there, and listening, and not being judgmental, and then from there you can do a whole bunch of other things. But that's such a big part that even if you do, right, like even if, and because I'm sure they exist, right, even if you do have a therapist who's extremely conservative, and they have a patient who is extremely liberal, right? Like, just for the sake of this argument, you have two completely polar opposite people, who it's the therapist's job to not be a judgmental asshole anyway, right? Even if he's super conservative and wants to be a judgmental asshole, he shouldn't be. And if they can't, right, like if they cannot actually provide services without being a judgmental asshole, it's also their job to stop. It's also their job to say, I cannot, I cannot reasonably continue to do my job because I can't actually separate myself from from my political position or whatever. So it's not how any of this works. Therapeutic confrontation, attack therapy. There it is. See, I knew there was a name. Yeah. So it is a thing. Just again, don't think that it's don't take it as an endorsement to go be an asshole to people, because it's a method. It's not the method to work with people. There are plenty of other methods, but it is one of them. So all right, that tangent on methods of psychology and things.
People learn behavior, and that's what goes on, is the learned behavior, and you can unlearn behavior, which is true. You can modify behavior to a certain extent, but you cannot permanently change personality traits, because personality traits are inherited.
Inherited? Okay. Personality, this one's a fun one. So personality is interesting. Personality, for the most part, is like unchanging. Like, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but it's, for the most part, you kind of have your same personality throughout your whole life. And it's not like a thing. Like, you don't have a kind of personality. The scale that's usually used is called the Big Six. I think if you Google like the Big Six psychology, you'll find, or Big Six personality. It's like the Big Six personality traits. Google that and you'll find them. I forget what they are. Like, it's introvertedness and extrovertedness, and God, I could probably look it up. It's a bunch. It's a bunch of different things. One, they're not inherited. They are more permanent than a lot of other things about a person. Like, they change the least. Those personalities change the least, but they're not inherited. You don't inherit them from your parents. They're not. That's not how that works. If you're supposed to recuse yourself if you disagree politically, that means in the meta of psychologies, it would reinforce mentality unstable ideas by disallowing nuance. In the meta psychology, it would reinforce mentality unstable ideas by disallowing nuance. You say a lot of big sentences that I don't know how to react to. Contention is seen as argument always. That's true. So there are, like I said, there are kind of treatments that sort of do contention. There are others that don't. So the ones that don't kind of require you to not argue with your at least not necessarily. Again, God, therapy is such a one. I'm a very niche. I'm a behavior therapist in a very niche set. So my knowledge on other therapies is very, very broad, because I know them because we study them in school, but I've never done them. There's definitely a certain level of confrontation that you get in therapy, like they to try to. There's a certain level of it, and there's definitely a kind of confrontational psychology therapy that's actually like supposed to be confrontational, like you're supposed to argue with your patient. That's not all of them. Okay. Personalities. We talked about personalities. They're not what you think they work. You should take the personality test. They are kind of neat. And I think Indiana University has one. I think that's one of the fun ones. They're pretty neat. They only take like 5 minutes. They're not like super accurate, obviously, because it's an internet. personality tests. Like, take it for what it is, but it's one of the, it's especially, I think it's the Indiana one is a little bit more more accurate than your like BuzzFeed ones, for obvious reasons. But yeah, no, that's not how much I don't even remember what he said, but that's not how it works.
What you will notice that the real scientifically minded people in behavioral science were people like Conrad Lorenz, who was the father of ethology, as he's known, which discovered the imprinting of baby geese. Now, what's funny is...
Okay, I mean, that's animal psychology. Okay, I know that name now. Imprinting a baby geese. I feel like that's not true, but I don't have my animal behavior book anymore because I only rented it, and we talked about imprinting at some point or another. I don't remember. There was. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how imprinting works. There's an extent where it is true, where you try to find mates that look similar to your parents because that's sort of what you grew up with. Not necessarily in humans is like a bird thing. I think a couple other animals do, but birds definitely, because birds are fucking weird. I'd have to look that up. I don't want to make too much of a comment. I'd have to look up the animal. It's been too long since I studied. I say this, it was last semester. Birds are weird. Birds are weird should just always be your answer about anybody who says things about birds. Birds are fucking weird.
People in the mental health field do not like to accept the heritability of anything. And on top of that, what's funny is you see this body or fat acceptance stuff going on in mental health.
I got a drink. I'm gonna pause. Sorry for the people who only listen to this and don't watch this. So I'm going to describe what I'm doing. I'm going to pause and drink a whole lot of beer before I continue. You're one of those assholes who think that fat shaming is a thing, right? Or a good thing, I should say. You're one of those assholes who's like, I'm not fat shaming you because I dislike you. I'm fat shaming you because I care about your health. You are one of those assholes, aren't you, dipshit? Oh, good. I dislike people like you. By the way, I used to be an asshole like you, which is probably why I hate you so much. As I used to. God, I'm a terrible human being. The things that you do when you're an idiot. Stories about how R&D used to be an asshole. In case you didn't know, because even though I say this all the time, this channel stopped. It started as an anti-SJW, anti-feminist channel. That's why we have a cat with a bow tie, because that's the thing to do. You take an animal, you put a fucking dress clothes on it. Channel made, right? That's how this channel. That's the life of this channel began. And then Flat Earther saved me. Thank you, Flat Earthers, for saving me, channel. But back what, like 2-3 years ago, like when I was watching the Sargon of Akkad's and the Teal Deers and the other assholes of the internets, I definitely advocated for this, and it's a terrible thing to advocate. This idea that that fat shaming is okay because you're helping people lose weight, like it's your fucking job, one, to tell other people to lose weight, and you're doing it for the health. No, you're doing it because you're an asshole. If you think that this is true, you're doing it because you're an asshole. You're not doing it for the well-being of anyone else. You're doing it because you're a fucking asshole. And this is just your excuse to do it. That's it. You're not actually doing it to be a good person. Who's that guy? He looks like someone I probably wouldn't like. Ha. So this is dipshit. I think he has a real name. I forgot it already because it's not worth knowing. He thinks a lot of stupid. He thinks a lot of stupid.
When I worked at a community mental health clinic, I had my coworkers working against me because I used to be, I have the certification to be a personal trainer, which is now out of date, but...
That was... I hope that's not what you meant by this is what you meant. I hope that's not what you meant by you worked in the mental health industry, was that you were a personal trainer. I hope that's what you meant. I know it is. I just hope it wasn't what you meant, because that would make me sad.
I had a personal trainer certification and I used to teach karate. So they gave me a group on weight management. I did a group every week on weight management. And I would follow up with the clients and make sure they were meeting their goals or, following a healthful diet. Now, what's funny is I had the coworkers, the therapists working against me by telling these poor people, oh, it doesn't matter if you're fat. You should be happy with how you look. So then when I would do my groups and show them how to balance their diet, and I put a lot of effort into this, how to eat a vegetarian diet, how to eat an omnivorous diet, how to use a ketogenic diet to lose weight, a lot of different things, and how to incorporate exercise gradually, because some of these people I was working with, you're talking over 300 pounds. Now, and a lot of this, they
Okay. I don't know what your point is. They aren't working against you, right? Like, they're, like... Again, he was suggesting keto. That's also true. You need to be happy with yourself before you can start losing weight. I think it was Blue Ouija who said it. Or was it Blue Ouija? I think it was Blue Ouija who said it. If just telling people that they're fat and they're ugly or whatever was what you needed, then people wouldn't be fat and ugly, right? Because it's not like it's you're the fucking brave soul doing the courageous thing of going up to people and calling them fat. You're not. That's not what you're doing, right? Like, society in general tells you that if you're over a certain weight or you're the wrong shape, that you are that you should somehow be ashamed of it, or you shouldn't be happy with it. That's not how any of this works. If I was going to try to encourage someone to lose weight in a from like my behavior perspective, I wouldn't do it by shaming it, right? Reinforcement is more effective than punishment half the time, especially punishment that's punishment in this case isn't gonna do it, right? Ooh, parental duties. Thanks for stopping by, Deathful. Woo, sorry. God, got it. That was a big burp. Sorry. Encouragement in this at this point is far more important than just being like, no, you're fat, start exercising, and like so many other things. Therapy is very different for very different individuals. Some people do, I can imagine, some people do actually gain momentum when it comes to exercising and gain encouragement from people telling them that they need to lose weight, right? That someone being confrontational, right? Someone needs to, I'm sure that there's someone out there who enjoys it, right? But it's not your fucking place to assume that that's everyone and then be an asshole to everyone, right? That, again, this isn't how any therapy works. This is why there's different kinds of therapies, and therapies are tailored to different kinds of people. It's because things work differently. And as a fucking personal trainer isn't the one who gets to decide that. A personal trainer, right? You do your job. Teach people how to watch their eat a diet or whatever. Don't recommend keto because that's bullshit. But whatever. There are good diets out there that you could recommend and all that nonsense. I'm sure. Do your job, but your job is not to see. Your job is not to tell people what their psychological needs are. That's not your job. That's someone else's job, and you should let them do their job. Dipshit's going to bitch about participation trophies next. That's a good bet right there. I would not be surprised.
Blame on the psychiatric medicine, but a lot of it is based on the poison that is being put into their head by the mental health community, that it's okay to be fat, it's okay to be unhealthy, it's okay to be ugly, as long as you're comfortable with who you are. The problem with that...
How dare people be happy with who they are? No, fucking everyone needs to appeal to this jackass. God, you make me angry.
That is these people then use this as a means to justify lackadaisical attitudes, and this becomes a way of life for these people where they just justify everything. Well, I don't spend money within a realistic framework because that's what makes me comfortable. And another thing that you find is the normalization of odd behavior. One of the things that you'll find is the
Normalization of. Okay. Now we have to get into some funny bits about what the hell normal is, which is always great. Normal's a weird word. Because it's good, like defining normal is weird, right? Like you have normal in one generation is very different than another generation. I'm sure that there's plenty of older people who don't understand what it, why people do selfies and are on their phones all the time. And there's plenty. My favorite one of these is actually people who watch sports, right? Like people who watch the NFL, Sunday Night Football, all that jazz all the time, right? They watch the sports. They watch the sports all the time. But then when new forms like esports came out and people started watching fucking, people play StarCraft and get all excited, or people play League of Legends or whatever, and the same people who sit around on their couches on Sundays and watch sports, when they start telling you, why do you watch someone else play a game? Why don't you just go do it yourself? It goes to show you what the normal isn't. That, like, they have very different definitions of normal. You're engaging in the exact same act, sitting around watching someone else do something that you could easily do yourself. But it's normal in younger generations to accept things like esport, right? That's a normal part of the day, but it's abnormal for an older generation because they weren't exposed to it. There is no such thing as normal. Normal is it's fluid. It's whatever. It's whatever society expects at the time. It's not a thing. You shouldn't think that it's a thing. Please stop.
Normalization of anti-Western attitudes. Now this goes all.
Oh! $5 says he says cultural Marxist. $5 says he says cultural Marxist. Anti-West. What does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. Oh, I know what it means. That's a lie. Anti-Western. I know what you mean by it. As a word, it means absolutely fucking nothing, right? Like what is the West is just like, I don't even know what that means. What is the West, right? Like, I don't even know. I started thinking he might be the right of America. He might be the right of America. Like, what does that even mean? Like, to Western society, I want to know what that means. It's definitely not American society. It's like I don't know if you've noticed this, but even Americans from one end of from California to New York are incredibly vastly different, have different ideals, different things that they worry about. So that we don't have a Western culture. That's just dumb. But I know what you mean. Right? Because I know I'm going to call you this because you've been acting like it anyway, or a bit of an asshole anyway. So, what you mean is brown people. And I'm sure most specifically brown people from the Middle East, because you don't like them brown people. So that's what you mean is anti or West is anything that isn't the brown people from the Middle East, probably the brown people down in Mexico, because you're kind of an asshole. So I'm just going to assume you're a racist asshole at this point, because you've just been an asshole about everything else. So
the way back to Sigmund Freud, who was a vehement anti-Gentile. He hated Gentiles, and basically,
I mean, he's probably not wrong. Sigmund Freud is kind of an idiot. He's not an idiot. That's a bit. He had some very stupid ideas about things, but he did pioneer psychology. I'm not gonna lie, he did do that thing, mostly by introducing the scientific method into psychology. Right? He was very, very wrong about a very lot of everything, but someone had to start somewhere. That's all.
Promoted things like the quote sexual revolution and things of this nature, which was then followed by the Frankfurt School. Fuck!
Frankfurt School. Oh, we're at Frankfurt School. Can we? God, I need a thing. Oh, Frankfurt School. We've hit the Frankfurt School, guys. I just...
And pushed to basically destroy gender roles and proper sexual morality in the West.
I know, he did. Frank, you know what? You're right, Red. Frankfurt School, that's close enough to cultural Marxist. I'll take it. Drink if you're playing along at home. He said cultural Marxist. This is really tart. He said cultural Marxist. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Okay, what is the Frankfurt School? So the Frankfurt School is not a real school, but it's like, who's got it? I'm gonna do a terrible job at explaining it, so I would recommend H-Bomber Guy's video on Sargon of Akkad's response or petition or something like that. It's like PragerU. School of Thought, kind of. It's like it's where cultural Marxism began. And if you don't know what cultural Marxism, it's a new word for it's a new word for the Jews. So the whole point of the Frankfurt School is that the Jews are trying to take over and destroy Western civilization. I'm gonna look it up because I'm doing a terrible job, and I know that I am, because I'm an awful human being. Frankfurt, and it's also Frankfurt School. There we go. Frankfurt School. We're gonna read this terribly, terribly badly. Okay. According to Wikipedia, because reliable source, the Frankfurt School is a school of social theory and critical philosophy associated with the Institute for Social Research and the Goethe University Frankfurt, founded by Weimar Republic during the European interwar period. The Frankfurt School compromised intellectuals, academics, and political descendants who were ill-fitted to the contemporary socio-economic system, capitalist, fascist, communist, in the 1930s. The Frankfurt theories proposed that the social theory was inadequate for explaining the turbulent political fascism, reactionary politics occurring in the ostensibly liberal capitalist society of the 20th century. Critical of capitalism and of the Marxist-Leninism as philosophically inflexible system of social organization, the school's critical theory research indicated alternative paths to realizing the social development of society and nations. There's a kind of a slow rundown. There's an H-Bomber Guy video where he does a much better job at explaining them than me, because I'm a terrible human being. So I would go watch that. Okay.
Now, this is normalized in the mental health field. A lot of therapists push this, well, if it makes you feel good, you do it, sister. And again, what you will see in the mental health field is an almost complete absence of heteronormative men that adopt a heteronormative lifestyle.
Okay. So, you're not wrong. This is one thing that I don't actually think you're wrong. But I don't think you're right for the things. Well, no, I don't think you're right. I just don't think you're wrong. One of the things with a lot of industries, and this is one of them, is that women are predominant. So, for example, in my job, there's a whole lot of women that do psychology. So you're not wrong that it's a lot of women and there aren't a whole lot of men who do it. I don't necessarily see this as a problem per se, or at least I don't see what your point is as a problem. You're not wrong, but you're not right for the things that you think you are. It's not what you think it is. It's just that there's a lot of There's a lot of women in psychology. That's all. There's a lot of women in teaching. There's probably some reasons why that is. I don't know what they are, but it is. You seem to just have a problem with the fact that there aren't a bunch of heterosexual men, which is that's very different than like the problem that there's a lot of, not that a lot of women is a problem, but like the problem of the gender genders being so misrepresented. So the problem that I would say might come with that is that if you do have someone, say like you, right, like you needed help, you needed therapy, and you, because apparently the way that you are, you would only accept therapy from another heterosexual man who's very, I don't know, normative, like you say, right? I could see you struggling to potentially find the help that you seek, and I think that's a bit of a problem, because I do think that even as much of an asshole as you are, you should get the help that you need. And I think that if you are especially in fields like therapy, you should have people who represent you and all that nonsense. So I would personally like more men to be in the field, because I think that men need help, and men like to have help from other men. And so I think it would sort of promote that. I don't think it's a problem that women are there. I don't think that it's a problem that women can also provide help. And if you're not an asshole like you can accept help from women and you will be fine. I think you in particular might be in a bit of a bind if you try to find help. Evan Williams, Wooden Toad, it's in between a trick to forgive past bad and strive for better, unlike Rationality Rules did. Oh no. No, we're gonna talk about Rationality Rules again. This is the thing. God, don't ever. So much.
I did work with one male, and unfortunately the dude was my supervisor, and he was fruity as hell. I
don't think I have to say anything to that. It's just unfortunate. Can we not talk about Rationality Rules? I have more stupid comments to read. Lots of stupid comments to read. There was a lot of stupid comments on both those videos. So many stupid comments. And now I got into a fight with Ocean and Shannon on Twitter. So great. I love it. Oh yeah. So there's the homophobia. The homophobia showed up 2 hours into the video, but it got there.
Did work with two males. One was this one was not my supervisor. He was a long-haired, freaky person, and if it were up to me, he need not apply.
Guys, it's 2019, and there was a man with long hair, and he had a job. Isn't these guys just? Where's my pearls? I need some pearls to clutch here. I gotta clutch some pearls on this nonsense. Yeah, he was freaky.
He was very liberal. He was a Freudian. He adopted Freudian psychoanalysis. That was his thing. And
I hope not. I truly hope not.
He was the drug and alcohol guy. And his view was an anything goes mentality, except for the fact that anything goes meant anything he viewed as normal behavior. Extremely liberal.
I see. As opposed to you, who you get to decide what normal behavior is. I see. It's making sure.
Extremely anti-white, even though he was white. I like to call him a racially confused Irishman. He would promote, from what I got from the clients I shared with him, his big thing was promoting basically multiculturalism. And I don't regret calling you racist. The other dude, who was my supervisor, he was very effeminate, but did have a wife. Of course, that doesn't really mean anything. He did have a wife and kids, but he was extremely effeminate, very limp-wristed.
Jesus fuck! God! You made me I am out of beer again. I'm so glad that this is only a 4.0% beer. God. You're such an asshole. limp-wristed. You are just like all the phobics. All the phobics in one thing. That is you. You are all the phobics. We are so close to being done. Like I can see. I know you can't. Maybe I'll show you. We are incredibly close to being done with him. Like you can see how close on the bottom there of the screen. We're really close to being done, and then we'll finish, and then we'll have some boobs, and then we're gonna be done for the day. Oh.
And he was another one. He would get on my case because I think the thing at the time was I had stood up against a homosexual that was promoting normalizing homosexuality.
So you were being a homophobic asshole and someone told you not to? And that's a... The chat is done now. The chat is done now. Is the chat done now? The chat is done. I'm okay with being done. It's fine. It's fine if you want to be done. There's literally 30 seconds left, but it's fine. Chat is done. Oh God, you are an awful human being. You are an awful human being. Okay, we're gonna be done then. We will finish. Keep going. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, we're really close, guys. Honestly.
The reason that sexuality, and I asked the guy if that's really what he felt. Now, this is all I asked him. Of course, the complaint got blown out of proportion because it turned out that my client was being told by his therapist that he should be a homosexual, and he was being led along toward a life of homosexuality. And I was explaining to him that he probably should get a second opinion if he didn't feel comfortable with that, and that he had the right to do so. This, of course, was used against me later.
I'm sure that was the only instance, and you never did anything at all that was homophobic besides this one thing that sounds very benign, except for the fact that it doesn't sound actually very benign. We finished! We did it! See, that was it. That was it. We moved on to what's her name? This is other lady. But we did it. We finished. We finished the video, guys. We finished. He didn't end that at all. He just kind of stopped talking, which is fine. But we did it. We did a thing, and I'm glad because I didn't want to listen to more of this. Okay, so we finished the video. We'll get some boobs for us, and then I don't know. I can stick the voting up again. We don't have a whole lot of time left, so that's a thing. Pick a number between 1 and 36.
Here's a random number, 30.
30. So we'll get 30. I'm dying a little aside. Do I get the participation trophy for getting through this? Yes, we do get a participation trophy. This is our participation. Excuse me. This is our participation trophy for making it through that. Oh no! I don't know why it's not working. Our participation trophy. No, we don't get a participation trophy. We just don't. We just don't today. I don't know why we don't. I don't know what's wrong with it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'd probably have to restart OBS or Streamlabs or one or the other. Yeah, sorry. Did the stream just die for anyone else? I hope not. It's still going on my end, and it's still going everyone else. So, okay. So, with that said, we have 15-ish minutes. We can pick another topic, or we can be done. Chat decide kind of quickly if we want to pick another topic. We do have the Flat Earth video kind of ready to go right now, but that's okay. We all got our own boobs. Good. I'm glad. Let's go all night. I don't quite have that much time. Well, so hopefully this won't be a problem in the future because we got a thing. New topic. Okay. So we'll get voting up. I'm gonna put voting up. We'll get Cloudbot back up. If you pick number 7, It's not gonna do anything, so that's, you know, that's a you problem there. If you pick number 7, we'll get there's your voting options right there on the screen. Cloudbot should be in the chat letting you vote for whatever you would like. Hopefully he's in the chat. There he is. The Truman Show by ODD TV, AOC by David Icke, Alpha Males by Joe Rogan, How to Write a Myth by Owen Benjamin. Again, racist asshole. If you're kind of tired of racist assholery, that's kind of the one that you should avoid. Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood by Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood. That one's probably the most fun, to be honest with you. That isn't going to be insane. And then Top 25 Flat Earth Proofs, which is gonna be the thing. Gonna be flat earthers, so it's gonna be flat earthers. The trailer for Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood, I think, is gonna be mostly hilarious, I hope. And it looks like number 5 is winning. Ooh, number 5 is winning, which I'm okay with, because honestly, that is I love voter fraud. It's honestly probably gonna be the funniest one to deal with. And I think I want to save, like, I do want to do the Joe Rogan one, but I want to do it like in a whole stream rather than just kind of the end bit of a stream, because I'm sure there's a whole lot of stupid in there that needs to be unpacked, and we just gotta get there. Number 6 will need more time dedicated to it. I think so. It's a very short video. It's only, if I remember right, it's only like 15 minutes long, which, granted, in R&D time is like 3 hours, but it is much shorter than the potential other options that we could have. So that'll be good. Gonna take a moment now to show myself. Remember, guys, if you want to support the show, you can do that through Super Chats, Patreon, and all that nonsense. If you want to follow me on Twitter, so you can do !Twitter, and that's my Twitters. If you want to follow me on Discord or join the Discord chat, which is kind of slow, but that's okay. You can Discord that nonsense as well. And yeah, so there's lots of ways to keep having your daily dose of R&D. If you are so inclined, if you really wanna keep doing this nonsense. A big thank you to Evan Williams for his very generous donation that has gotten off these super chats. But I think I will do some math and get it all put together. But I think then in the next couple of weeks we'll have a new computer, and this terrible lag will go away. Finally, gonna be watch Scientist Mel's new show, Audacity. It starts an hour after Rhetoric&Discourse. Oh, that's awesome. Also, yes, go watch Scientist Mel. She is fantastic. What a wonderful woman. She does so much great stuff. Go watch her show, share her stuff. She's a great person. Poor wine choices. Yes, if you want to know me about poor wine choices, the Twitter is a place to go. It's also where I go to yell at everyone. So if you don't know why I'm angry when I show up at the stream, you probably missed out like a day's worth of Twitter yelling that happened. There's a lot of Twitter yelling, especially right now. So much Twitter yelling at the moment. Yeah, because rationality rules is a thing, and it's a thing that we must all talk about all the time. It's great. It's fantastic. It's the best. I love it. Twitter is the cloaca maxima of the internet. Yeah. So yeah, if you do not have enough R&D in your life, that is definitely the place to go. Otherwise, I want to say that I want to get more videos put together. I will try very, very hard this week to work on the next Eric Duvay video. I do not plan on giving up on the Eric Duvay videos. It's just that there are a lot of fucking work. So that's it. Thank you for holding people accountable, R&D. I try. That's all I'm asking for. You say stupid shit, and I'm gonna say that you said stupid shit, and that's it. That's all I want out of you. Just don't be an asshole. But it is very tiring, apparently. Oh, goodness. Put that together with the ACA and the NSS breakup, and that's Twitter in a nutshell. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, if you don't know, the ACA is kind of done for. Well, I shouldn't say done for, but they did break up. So that the only one left is Matt Dillahunty and Don Baker, and that's it. And then it got taken over by a bunch of dude bros. So that's the thing. Also, the Non Sequitur show split, but I care a whole lot less about that, just because I don't really care much about the Non Sequitur show. But yeah, I care more about the ACA because I actually liked the ACA before they broke up. So that one's sad, and that one's sad. But you know, it's what happens when you let a bunch of dude bros run your things. Okay. Whoop. Poll is now closed, and our winner is. Chat, what is our winner? Our winner is number 5, was the most voted for, which is Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood by Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood, which I love. Okay, so.
Are you tired of Hollywood politicizing
everything?
Are you tired of Hollywood politicizing everything?
Everything needs to stop. Everything needs to stop for a second. Okay. So this is Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood by Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood. This is the trailer to their website. Their website, by the way, if you don't know, because. And I'm going to say that probably within the next 2 weeks or a month, we will probably be doing this. If you would like to watch me and microbloganism and a couple other people just talk about nonsense on websites and stuff, you should go follow us on Taking a Look At. I'm sure that microbloganism will put a link to it on the things and stuff. Because we've talked about a fun website yesterday, which was America with a K. It was extremely, God, it made the alt-right look rather liberal in comparison. It was a fun website, and that's where we found this Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood. I'm sure at some point or another we will talk about Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood, because they do have a free speech forum. And they do have fun reviews of TV shows and whatnots. I can do one better. I am the channel. Here we go. I was in the Facebook discussion when I suddenly felt a tsunami. Unfortunate. It is really sad. It is really sad. Not gonna lie, I am rather heartbroken by the ACA breakup, because they are a staple of atheism, of positive atheism too. Like, because I know there's a lot of different forms of atheism, but they're an absolute staple of positive atheism. Quite a great. They were quite a great community, and it's really sad that this is the hill they decided to die on, was Stephen Woodford. Of all the places to be like, no, we're gonna mark our stand here. This is not the one that I expected them to do. Okay. Okay, here we go. So this is Shut the Fuck Up Hollywood. They call themselves the uncooked the uncooked version of Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you tired of Hollywood politicizing?
Oh, we're gonna put that up a little bit. Are you tired of Hollywood politicizing everything? This, by the way, is just code for they have brown people and or women as lead characters in movies, and it makes me uncomfortable. TMM, is that the real TMM? Hi. It's frustrating that Dillahunty can't see the damage RR is doing. Privilege is hell of a drug. It really is. It really is. Is there a new development I missed, or are you just talking about the original walkout? I don't know how. I don't know. So Jen, is it Jen? God. For the ladies, who were hosts of like Godless Bitches and whatnots, left. They just left. They were Sam Harris. Tracy Harris. Sorry, Tracy Harris, Jen Peoples. 2 more that I forget. They left. And they were kind of like, along with Matt Dillahunty, they were there for forever. And they left. And they left entirely. Is from what I know, and you know, I don't have a firsthand reference for this, so I can't like say like firsthand this is why they left. But from what it sounds like, they left due to Rationality Rules' video. Not his video. The ACA's treatment of Rationality Rules' video and Stephen Woodford when he came to Austin to hang out with them. They left over that whole debacle, and so now the only ones left are Matt Dillahunty. The only host, I shouldn't say the only ones left. The only hosts left are Matt Dillahunty and Don Baker. Everyone else left. They wanted nothing to do with the ACA anymore, and they left. Matt Dillahunty has pretty much come out and said, ignore the man behind the curtain. Like, don't pay attention to the reason why they left. Just know that they left, and you should wish them a good time by the fact that they left. Wish them well on their next, wherever their journey takes them or whatever. And that's pretty much what he said, which is just fucking terrible. Like, ignore the reason why they left. Like, don't pay attention to it. That's just terrible. Like, no, pay attention. Like, these people have been with the ACA for fucking ever and a half. And they've contributed so much to them. Like, I'm sure that them leaving was not an easy decision for any of them to make. And Matt Dillahunty is just pretty much dismissing it and being like, no, ignore it. It's fine. No, it's a big deal, Matt. It's a big deal why they left. And you should at the very least stop trying to be such a centrist asshole and actually acknowledge that your community has a problem, and this is people reacting to that problem. The ACA's largest issue is way too many irons in the fire. Potentially, I guess. They left because how the ACA mishandled the situation, ignoring the concerns and refused to moderate hateful comments. Yeah. So yeah, it's a shit show. It's a shit show. All right. So with that said, this is a palate cleanser after dipshit it all over our stream.
Do you wish you knew which movies were apolitical gems and which ones were Marxist garbage?
I need a thing. Why don't we have a woo bingo, but we don't have a fucking, like, we don't have a culture of Marxist bingo. I need a culture of Marxist bingo. I want a culture of Marxist bingo card. Oh, god damn. That was hilarious. That was fantastic. Apolitical. Okay. So this, I know I talked about it at some point or another because, why not? Movies are political. Like, they just are. Especially good movies. Good movies make commentary on the things. There is, I can guarantee you that unless no, I doubt it. I guarantee you that you will not be able to find me an actually apolitical movie. I guarantee you that you won't ever be able to find me one. That just about every movie out there makes some sort of commentary about anything, about politics in some way or another. Because that's what Toy Story 2. Oh, Toy Story 3. I'm sure that I could find something in there. I got a PM from the last moderator just as she was quitting. Wound up in a conversation with Tracy and definitely saw this coming. Oh, I forgot. It's so sad. It's so sad. It really is so sad. There's a movie called Ass. Oh, wait. Yeah. There's somebody. God, I wish I remembered her name. She made she's on the Twitters. She was on the Twitters for a little bit right after the ACA came out with their first word for letter. And there were, I think it was right after that, or right after the second one, I forget. But she made a video about it, and she was also part of the ACA. Or I think like a smaller part, but she was part of the ACA, and she made a little bit of a commentary on that, on the ACA happenings.
Do you want to spend money on entertainment that actually entertains you instead of lectures? Well,
again, so I am sure. So this is always a funny part, right? Because when people like these, like, shut the fuck up Hollywood, say they want something apolitical, they don't actually want something apolitical. They want something that's political, but it's political on their side, right? They'll go watch Dunkirk. Like, no one's fucking business. They'll be watching Dunkirk. I'm sure they'll also watch Forrest Gump with like no fucking problem because it's fairly it's also political, so maybe they don't. I don't know. Everything's political, so fuck if I know. I don't even know what you would watch. I'm honestly very curious as to what you would watch. I really want to know what you would watch to what movie that's come out lately you would be able to watch that was apolitical enough for you to not get offended by. That would be great.
Now you can. At STFUHollywood.com, we scour the internet so you don't have to. From libertarians to neocons to hardcore alt-right, we've got you covered so you can make up your own mind before seeing a movie.
We created an echo chamber where you can watch all of the reviews. Jesus fuck. Come on, guys. Little echo chamber of movie reviews. This is wonderful. This is wonderful.
And thanks to our custom rating system, you can determine exactly how much degenerate filth you need to stomach before subjecting yourself to the torture of watching Western civilization decay on the silver screen.
I can't anymore. How much is degenerate filth? I'm okay. That was too much. That was genuinely too much. Oh God. Oh. I'll get there. Okay. I'm fine. Probably. Okay. I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. Okay. Oh God, degenerate filth. I love it. All that degenerate filth. While you watch this Western, oh God, this is the best. This is good. I like this. I like this video. I like you video. You make me laugh. Not for the reasons you think you should, but you do, and it's great. I love you video.
You can even leave your own anonymous reviews to save others the trouble. But as you probably already know, boycotting is only so effective. The Hollywood elites have made it perfectly clear they are willing to take the hits to their wallets if it means they can keep pushing their propaganda.
Really? You think you think? Really? Is that what you think? God, this is such a thing. I love it. Because this is such a thing. Like this was the thing with the last one that I can think of is the Captain Marvel movie, right? That Captain Marvel was gonna just do so terrible because the MCU Marvel is just pushing their propaganda, and that movie just fucking destroyed the box office, and I find that to be the best. Same thing with Black Panther, right? Like before Captain Marvel, Black Panther did great. Like that's the thing. Like Hollywood isn't doing this shit, right? Hollywood, you have Hollywood entirely backwards. Hollywood isn't doing things like, which I'm pretty sure you think are horrible, which is putting women in like whatchamacallit, the star roles or whatever, being the protagonist. They're not doing it because they want to be progressive and they want to put propaganda into the movies. They're doing it because they know that now is the time that they can do it and make money off of it, right? Now is the time that they can come out with a movie. So Wonder Woman came out, everyone fucking loved it, and I'm sure that Marvel saw Wonder Woman came out. Now is the time that we can have a female superhero as the lead character of a movie, and we will make money off of it. And that is the only reason that they did it. They didn't do it because they wanted to promote, feminism, or they wanted to promote women. Hollywood does shit because it makes them money. Like Hollywood, they don't care. They aren't taking hits to their wallet. They take hits to their wallet when they make stupid shit. They don't take hits to their wallet when they put black people as their protagonists, right? That's not when they do that. It's only when they, I don't even know how often they take hits to their wallets. They take mostly when they make really, really crap stuff. Okay. The business side, producers in Hollywood are not progressive or liberal. They're bone capitalists looking what looks like making more money. It is. It is entirely true. The funny thing is, those bitching about Captain Marvel admitted to doing it just to pander to their fans for money. That is also very, very true. That is exactly why that happened.
And now they've even gotten their slimy SJW tentacles into sports and video games.
Oh, no. Sports and video. Also, by the way, I made this comment. Video games. If you think that video games are being ruined by feminism and SJWs, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there. Video games are being ruined by capitalism and the sheer greed of companies like EA. That is what's ruining video games. Video games at one point were made by tiny little companies that barely made any money making them, right? Like that's how it started. So there is, and I think, there is a golden age of video games, where video games were made to be just weird ass shit and new concepts, and people were willing to try new things because nobody knew what the profitable thing was. They knew like everything was kind of up for grabs, and then people discovered what the profitable thing was for video games, which is to make the same goddamn thing over and over again, and then put microtransactions in it. And now that that's been discovered, that is what ruins video games. Lara Croft's tit size, that doesn't ruin video games. What ruins video games is greedy corporations. We're just going to ignore the two extremes we are. Okay. Yeah, those slimy ass shit. Not saying they should have bitching about it, but it shows where the priorities were. It does show where the priorities were.
So, although we aim to help you voice your opinions with your hard-earned cash, we understand this is only half the battle. That's where culturalreconquista.com comes in. STFUHollywood.com is a safe-for-work movie review site, whereas culturalreconquista.com is an 18-plus free speech forum with the main focus of discussing the arts from a conservative perspective. Politics is downstream from culture, and that's why Silicon Valley is freaking out trying to censor all the great right-wing content creators that helped get Trump elected.
I'm just gonna sit here and drink quietly. Okay. Yeah, no. Hey, remember I look at my non-existent watch. Remember that time that Steven Crowder was banned from YouTube for making homophobic and racist comments on the internets? Oh, me neither. I don't remember that time. Hey, remember that time that Black Pigeon Speaks was banned from YouTube because he's a racist asshole? Oh, me neither. Imagine that. Remember that time Stephen Molyneux was banned from YouTube for promoting sexist, racist, and nationalist ideas? Me neither. It's almost as if YouTube and Google don't give a fuck. Because they don't. God, why do you all get this so backwards? They don't care. YouTube, Google, they don't care. They care about what they makes them the most money, and they're not about to kick some of their biggest money makers off of their platform for political correctness. The fact that Steven Crowder and Stephen Molyneux and Black Pigeon Speaks are still on their platform goes to show you how they're not willing to take a hit to their wallets. They really are not willing to do that because they know that if they, and it happened because they did kick off Black Pigeon Speaks for a little bit, they know how much pushback they'll get from assholes like you. However, they are more than willing to demonetize any video that talks about anything that's positive to the LGBT plus community. They're more than willing to censor historical videos that talk about history because they don't find it appropriate. They're not censoring people because of their political views. They're censoring people based on what they're going to make the most money off of. Do they really think that rage-filled white guys screaming at cameras about feminism is great content? They really do. Remember when Twitter banned Trump for hate speech? Yeah. No, it's true. Like, none of these... If what you are saying were true, shut the fuck up, Hollywood. Ben Shapiro wouldn't be on Twitter. Donald Trump wouldn't be on Twitter. I don't know, Dave Rubin might be. Stefan Molyneux would definitely not be on Twitter. You know how often you know how fucking conservatively crazy those fuckers are? Very.
But Pandora's box is already open, and it's too late. That hasn't stopped them from trying, though. Which is why we have dedicated culturalreconquista.com to free speech, and have even created a one-of-a-kind debate program that encourages nuanced opinions and intellectual dialogue, as well as the freedom to meme.
Intellectual dialogue and memes. Kyrgyzstan is strong with this one. Okay, microbloganism, I am making an executive decision on us going through cultural reconquista, whatever the fuck it's called, Reconquista, for the next taking a look at, because it's great. So porn and shit posting like Gab, pretty much. I also, we might need to put on some filters because I'm pretty sure there's lots of porn. Oh god, does it sound like Rhetoric&Discourse to anyone else? I've been doing this. Jerks are chains. Oh yes, yeah, we have to do this video. It's gonna be great. I doubt that. I know people R&D. Some people who mod those bros can hide posts they don't like. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure there's porn though.
Another way we combat censorship is by gathering all the right-winger updates into one convenient location for you, so you don't have to keep finding new ways to circumvent Silicon Valley's sneaky censorship. Conservatives love to complain, but we finally have a chance for a cultural reconquista. The time for change is now. So come check us out today, and together, let's make Hollywood great again.
I love this video. We finished 2 videos, guys. That was fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for this wonderful show. The website does look awful. We gotta do some video reviews, or some read through some Hollywood reviews of movies. Oh, that was amazing. I would try boobs again, but I think boobs are broken like permanently now. So we are just gonna call it quits because we're gonna end on a high note. That video is our high note for the day. That was fantastic. That was amazing. It just I love it. I love every bit of this. Okay. So with that said, thank you everyone for being here today. I greatly appreciated you being here. Thank you, Christy, for hanging out for the first time ever. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you, Alcrocrossa and Wooden Toad. I never even said hi to you, Wooden Toad. I didn't see you sneak in here. Ugly German Truth. And thank you, Micro. Big thank you to my patrons, Micro and Ugly German Truths and NANA and who else was in here? Luke and Evan Williams. Thank you very much for being patrons, and big thank you to Evan Williams for getting us, I'm gonna have to double check, but getting us all the way, I think, to a new computer, which means that in the next couple of weeks we get to upgrade my computer and we will have hopefully less lag and things will run smoothly and life will be better and it's gonna be amazing. So thank you everyone for being here, and thank you very much. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you all next time.